Imagine being called the ugliest woman in the world. Crowds paid money just to stare at her. People laughed at her face, whispered that she wasn't even human. But behind the cruel headlines was a woman with a heartbreaking story that shocked the entire world. This is the tragic true story of Julia Pastrana. Julia Pastrana was born in Mexico in 1834. But from the moment she entered the world, people were terrified. Her entire body was covered with thick hair. She had unusual facial features and gums so enlarged that doctors later compared her appearance to an animal. Villagers believed she was cursed. Some even called her a monster. But Julia was not dangerous. She was intelligent, kind, and spoke multiple languages. She loved singing and performing. Yet society never saw her humanity. They only saw her appearance. As Julia grew older, businessmen realized they could make money from her condition. She was taken across America and Europe and displayed in circus freak shows. Posters described her as the ugliest woman in the world. Crowds filled theaters just to stare at her. Some screamed in fear. Others laughed at her face. But something unbelievable happened. When Julia stepped on stage and began singing, the audience went silent. Because she was talented, elegant, and far more human than the people mocking her. A man named Theodore Lent became Julia's manager. At first, he acted kind. Eventually, he married her. But many believed he never truly loved Julia. They believed he only wanted control over the money she earned. Then tragedy struck. In 1860, Julia gave birth to a baby boy. The child inherited the same rare condition. But only 3 days later, the baby died. And soon after, Julia also died from complications. She was only 26 years old. But the horror didn't end there. Instead of giving Julia a proper burial, her husband had her body preserved. Yes, preserved. He continued displaying her body in exhibitions across Europe to make money. People paid to look at Julia, even after death. For decades, her remains were treated like an object instead of a human being. It became one of the darkest stories in entertainment history. More than 150 years later, people finally began demanding justice for Julia Pastrana. In 2013, her remains were returned to Mexico. For the first time in over a century, Julia was finally laid to rest with dignity. The woman the world once mocked was finally treated like a human being.